Good afternoon. I know it was short notice, but there is a really strong presence that wants to be heard. You know, losing someone from this world is heartbreaking. We all know that. Losing a child from this world is insurmountable pain. My name's Gwenda. I'm a communicator, a bridge between heaven and earth. And through my years of nursing, I had many encounters with spirit. Through my years of being a medium, being able to communicate with the soul, with the spirit, I've had many encounters with children that have passed from this world. And in this last 5 days, I've had an experience that goes beyond words for me. After all the years, which is 42 years now, it goes beyond anything that I have experienced. When a child is taken from this world, that's how it is felt by parents. The pain is insurmountable. The grief seems to be lifelong. And people often say, oh, you'll get over it. You'll learn to live with it. You know, I don't think those words are helpful in the least. I know they're said to be helpful. I know they're said to be kind, but truly they're not helpful. Being able to move past the loss of a child is nigh on impossible. And the child that has come to me is she is so desperately wanting her family to know that it was so hard for her to watch them. And yes, they do watch. And that's something that I really want you to take away today. Every single loved one, no matter whether they are a baby that didn't arrive to this world. So as a mother and a grandmother, I know the pain of losing a baby. In fact, just to share with you, when I was 40, I was called a medical enigma. I collapsed at home. And if it wasn't for my daughter, I probably wouldn't be sitting here with you today. I have been medically sterilised since I was 22, and here I was pregnant. That spirit of that child visited me for 3 years on what would have been his birthday. I know the pain of losing an unborn child. I know the pain of losing a nephew, which is my sister's only son. But to be a parent who loses a child whom you have seen growing, you've seen, evolving and coming into their adolescence, just beginning their teen years, is a pain that is insurmountable. And this beautiful girl wants her family to know that she really feels their heartbreak, that she wants them to know she's around. And as hard as it is, when spirit come to me, I don't really have a choice. In fact, I'll take that word out. I am obliged to bring their message out. And in this instance, because of what I experienced with this beautiful girl, it's why I'm here on this forum, which I normally wouldn't be. But she's asked that the message go to all parents who are in Lee Wild. Hello, how lovely to see you. And thank you for being here. She's asked for the message to go out for all parents to know that when they lose their child, the child feels that devastation. They feel that pain. And in this instance, so traumatic was her experience. It's extremely traumatic for her family. Many years ago, over 20 now, I went into the lounge room to talk to my son, and there was a young man sitting on the couch, a young man in spirit. And I said, pardon me, who are you? And he said his name, and he said, I need your help. I need you to help my mum. So I asked him what the problem was, and he said, let me show you. And he instigated me getting in my car and driving to a place that I'd never been to before. And he showed me what happened. And he lost his life to other people. He was attacked, and he showed me that nobody in the houses around where it took place came out. Nobody opened their windows, and he said, nobody helped me. And he had been standing by the flowers and the memorabilia that had been put there, and he'd been waiting for his mum. And she came. And he wanted me to tell her that he was okay. Now, can you imagine, as a parent whose child has lost their life at the hands of someone else, or in a tragic, what's called an accident, can you imagine how hard it is for them to hear your child is okay? As the conduit, the messenger between spirit and earth, it's really hard. And this week, the experience I've had with this young lady is the worst and the most difficult I have ever had throughout my 42 years. We say that everyone has their time to go. And often it's said, oh, well, it must have been their time. I can tell you today that's not always correct. And when that happens, there is tremendous trauma for that soul. Many, many years ago, I was visited on a number of occasions by a young woman who to this day has never been found. And I won't go into that, but she showed me that her mum was so angry, that no matter what signs she gave to show her mum that she was okay. Now, what in the world does it mean when they say they're okay? Can you imagine as a parent when your child has been taken from this world through someone else's actions or a traumatic accident? Okay, how can a parent get their head around okay? What it means when the soul comes through is that they have been able to be free of what is seen as the cause of their passing. And I'm not going to use the word death because they aren't. And this is the other really important thing that Jody Marie and Melanie, hello and thank you. This is the other really important thing for everyone to know, that when a spirit is free of the physical body, they are what we call in this world okay. I have had so many encounters with children, with babies, be they in vitro, be they having come through and gone after a short time, be they 2, be they 13. I've had many encounters over my years. And I've got to tell you, it's the hardest, the absolute hardest. So when this girl has made her presence so felt in my physical being, and she has wanted me to share this. As you can see, it's really hard. I feel her pain. I feel her parents' pain because she's taken me to it. But it's got to be known. So, good evening, Jane, and welcome. Jody Marie, do they find family on the other side? In these instances, in these early instances, not yet. This young lady, this young girl, she's not gone yet. Now, when my nephew Jack left and I couldn't find him, I didn't know where he was, and I was really worried about where he was, because you see, Jack decided he couldn't stay in this world anymore. And my sister kept asking me, where is he? Is he still here? And initially I was saying, no, he's not. But all the signs were that yes, he was. And in the end, I found out through another medium, because Jack was hiding from me. And the reason he was hiding from me was because he knows my work, and he knew in his words that I would send him away. And what Jack didn't know at the time was where I would send him or have him taken by the angels would be where he could be healed, would be where he could be free of the pain that he experienced in this world. And then he would be able to visit. But he felt that if he was gone, if his auntie sent him, he would be forgotten. Now, with this young girl that has come to me this week and been very pronounced in her way of getting my attention in a way that I have never experienced before, she so desperately wants her parents to know that she's still here Now, should they still be here? No. No. And grief and pain, the heartbreak, the loss, makes it difficult for them to go. And it's not just children. An example I can give you is of a man who was still in this world, and he would show me that when his son went to visit him, he would get out of his physical body and hide by the wardrobe because he couldn't bear seeing the pain his son was in, because this man had a serious accident that paralyzed him completely. He couldn't speak. He couldn't communicate. He couldn't move. When the body is like that, the soul is still there, the spirit is still there, and it can get in and out. He couldn't bear the pain of seeing his son so distressed. So when we have a child that's life has been taken by the hands of someone else, or what is seen as an accident, they don't always go. They don't always go straight to heaven. And what this beautiful girl wants everyone to know is she's around. She hasn't gone, and she wants to talk to her family. Now, she's not alone. This is the encounter I've had with many, many souls of children. Some of you may know the story of a long time ago. I went to visit a young boy in hospital that I'd known from the day he was born. And when I stepped around the side of the curtain, these beautiful eyes met mine, and he sent telepathically, "I need you to tell Mum I'm only here for a short time." There was no way I could do that. No way. The spirit, Tammy Lane, hello. Wow, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Jodie Marie, it is heartbreaking. And the pain I feel from this young child is really hard. Oh my gosh. Hi, Fiona. Yeah, fancy you stumbling in. When a child goes, it's not ever a pain to recover from. And when it is through what seems to be a tragedy, as is this case, the spirit, the soul of the child, the same as when it is one who has been taken by the hands of another person, they wait. They wait to let their parents, their siblings, their family know that they're around. But when you are in that deep place of loss, of heartbreak, it's so hard for them to let you know and for you to feel them. And what this young lady wanted me to bring to everyone, she just wanted it known everywhere that they are there. You know, when I was a master personal trainer, I didn't tell my clients what my other hat was. And one day I was coming down the stairs of the gym having finished training a client, and there was a lot of hubbub going on downstairs, a lot of chit chat. And all of a sudden, this lady in among that spun around and threw her arm up and pointed at me. And she said, "Oh, I was going to kill you." And people just scattered. I actually didn't remember the lady. And it was most unusual for someone to recognize me. And she come rushing at me and she said, you know, I went home that day to get my shotgun and I was coming back to shoot you. I had no idea what she was talking about. When she came to me, she wanted to know about her baby that she was having. And she told me that day in the gym that whenever she asked, she said, all you would say to me was, the angels will take care of your baby. And she said, even when I left your place, on the doorstep, I told you that I'd painted the baby's nursery. And you looked at me and said, the angels will take care of your baby. And what it was that her baby, her child to be, was letting her know through the angels that it wasn't going to come through to this world. And that lady had what is called a miscarriage. And she wanted to literally shoot the messenger. So for everyone you know, and for any of you who have gone through the loss of your own child, a miscarriage, a loss of a member of your family that is a child or a young person, please take it from this little girl today that they are with you. They are with you. They never leave you. They are with you eternally. And their love for you is eternal. This is really hard today because of what this child has shown me. And I thank you for bearing with me. And so I ask for help to have the strength to bring this through for you. They say that there are 5 stages of grief. You know, for those of you who know me, I talk about stuff like this and labels. And from heaven, there is no stages, because the thing that heals the heart, heals the broken heart, is to be able to feel the presence of your child, of your baby. As I said, the one that I was a medical enigma for came every year for 3 years until I said to him, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this. Please stay in heaven. And Jody Marie asked, do they find family on the other side? When they go to the other side, yes. Everybody's waiting for them. Their guide, their guardian angel is waiting for them. They're never alone. And in fact, while they're here, there is still the support for them from the spirit world. But when they are caught in this time of transition, they don't want that contact like Jack. Jack didn't want to know about moving over there because he felt no one would remember him. And this beautiful child that has come to me this week, she is here. She is with her family. So what happens when they do transition, and this is what Jack has been able to affirm and show ever so beautifully. But again, it's something that the loved ones, the parents, find very hard to get their head around and to find peace in their heart. because we want that child, we want them to be here. We want to be able to feel them, to hold them. So when Jack appeared, he showed himself to be, I think, 23, and he looked amazing. You see, when you go to spirit and you go across the veil, you can choose a time, what's called an age, where you were most happiest, most comfortable in your life. And Jack presented himself as looking like he was 23. But he started to talk about some things about understanding why no one could help him in this world, why no one could help his pain. And his mum understood what he was saying. It was very difficult for both of us. And then I realised where Jack had been, and he'd been in what's called I call the library of heaven. It's where everybody goes to look at your life. And I said to Jack, you can't be out of there. You need to be in there. And he said, my rules, Auntie. I do it my way. And it was always Jack's way. And I said, no, Jack, you can't break the rules of heaven. And then he talked a little more. And then if you've seen the movie Ghost, his presence started to shimmer and shake. And he said, Auntie, what's happening? What's happening? And I said, I told you, Jack, you can't break the rules of heaven. And he had to go back to the library of life to finish it, because that's how we learn what we came for. It's how we learn what our purpose, if you like, what this life was. Now, back to parents losing a child, that will not make any sense. How can it be that a child's life ends 6 months of age, 3 weeks of age, 8 years of age, 13 years of age? How can that be? How can they have had a purpose? And this is where people get angry. And this is where, through my encounters and with this beautiful little girl today, I want to bring hope and ease to the hearts of every parent who is feeling this intense pain. It doesn't make any sense at the time. And even as a medium, being able to communicate with the soul, parents can't handle it. They can't hear it. They want their child back in this world. And that is completely understandable. But truly, even in circumstances like this one, where it was extremely traumatic, there's a reason, and I know that is also a line people don't want to hear. So what I want to say to you is everything becomes known. And through people like me who have that natural connection, we can bring you that peace. We can be that bridge for you between here and heaven. And for me, being able to bring messages to loved ones here it's emotional for me, but it's also a tremendous privilege that I respect deeply. And I will say the difference with me is I do not change the words, what it is that the Spirit wants. So losing a child There are no words that ease that pain. There is no time that stops that pain until you meet again in heaven. And that I can promise you, you do. In between times, you can communicate. You can see your child. But you know, that in itself is painful. It's really hard to work with. So do your best. And for those of you who know people that have lost a child, show your deepest compassion by encouraging them to let the child come to them in a way that they can manage. And the reason I say manage is because the sudden appearance of your child is more than your heart will bear. And it takes time. And how long? It doesn't matter. It's up to you. The most important thing I want you to know from this little girl is they're around. They're around you. They feel your pain. They love you. Their love is eternal. They watch you. They answer you. Truly, they are always there. The bond between parent and child is never broken. Never. So that is the message that this beautiful child wanted put out there. And I've got to say, she's really brave. She's really brave to want at this very early stage, because she is still going through a transition. And for her to have put upon me what she has to get my attention was very brave. And I honour her. I truly honour her. And hope that somewhere along the way her parents get to see this message and that it can ease their heart and let them know of her love and that she's around. For the tremendous pain that her parents experienced having to make a decision. And I know that my very precious girlfriend who's here had to make that decision too. And when I was nursing, I nursed in critical care and intensive care, a boy I went to school with. I'd known him all my school years, and he was the victim of a hit and run. And I was there the day that I was beside him when his parents had to make that decision. It is the thing that makes the impact of the loss so much harder. And in that instance, this little girl wants all the parents that have been through that to know it's okay. And then there's that word again, it's okay. There's no other word they can use to express that they know that there's only that option. The soul of your child knows that the decision you had to make had to be made. And they are okay with that. Thank you, Fiona. Fiona's daughter has left a massive imprint on my heart, and as she has on many. And this young girl that wants this message out there for people to know that making that decision, they understand, they know that there isn't any other decision for you to make. And they are there. They are right there with you the whole time. Unlike my beautiful nephew Jack, my sister's only son, like Fiona's girl was her only daughter. Jack hid, but very quickly learnt how to play with electricity. And he was able to mess with the electric garage door. He was able to play discos with the lights at his mate's place, to sit on his mate's beds. And they kept saying, it's Jack, it's Jack. And Auntie kept saying, oh no, he's gone. He hid from me. They don't leave you. They never leave you. And what's most important for you to know is that when they have transitioned, as this dear little girl is going to take a little while to transition because of the shock of what happened. But she is okay. She is feeling the grief. She is feeling the heartbreak. And she's in among all of that. And when she is able to feel the presence of the angels, then she will transition. And this is one part of the message that I really ask for parents to know. The transition from this world to what I call heaven, that is when everything changes for all of you. Hi, Karen. This is Jack's mum. Yeah. Thanks, Karen. Her family certainly are heartbroken. And to a degree, I'm going to say that so is this little girl, because what took place was a tremendous shock. So when people want to say that the soul knows, the spirit knows, and, it's always all good, I'm going to throw a spanner in the works and say I know from experience with young people whose lives have been taken by the hands of another human being, and from experience of ones who have been trapped, that is not true. When there is great trauma, quite often the soul can be caught in that trauma. In fact, another experience, goodness me, Karen might remember how many years because she was there. We were having a Christmas dinner and all of a sudden everything changed. And it turned out that a person at the Christmas dinner who'd been a truck driver, he'd had a carload of young people go past him at a rate of knots. And he said in his mind, you effing idiots, you'll kill yourselves. He didn't get that far up the road and they had run off the road. These young people, every single one of them, were able to reiterate to him what he thought as he looked at each one, and he verified it. My encounters with spirit, with those that have been caught between the worlds, have been nothing short of miraculous, amazing, heartbreaking, heart-wrenching, and at the same time, incredible, for knowing that life does not end here. And that's the other message from both Jack and this girl. As Jack says, gone but not gone. And Fiona's beautiful daughter, when she appeared beside me and spoke, and she asked me to help others like her. And she told me off. She said, I didn't want your help because I said I could have helped her. And all of them have the same message of love to you. They're not gone. They're not gone. Life is eternal. And I know that when you are caught in this world, thinking that what you see is what there is, I know it's very hard to recognize this. But life is eternal. You are eternal. And as Melanie asked, or Jody asked, will she get to be with family? Yes. The very first, sometimes the very first that you see are family. Not a child, but a senior lady, my auntie, when she passed a few months ago. At her farewell, I refuse to call it the other word, at her farewell, my dad and their mum, my gran, and her were sitting in 3 chairs watching the proceedings so peacefully. Life doesn't end here. In fact, if you knew, yes, Karen, not gone but been. That's what Jack, I think that's what Karen says for Jack. No matter what takes place in your life, please know from Jack, from Shona, and from this beautiful little girl today, the young man that came to me when he had had his life taken, the other young woman who I won't talk about, whose life had been taken, all of them want every parent to know they're not gone. And if I can help you to connect, to know how to connect with your loved ones, it would be my greatest joy. Because to be honest, sometimes it's a burden. It's a burden to be the one that can see and hear. My mum was really angry. One time, if Karen remembers, we put an anniversary dinner on and Dad appeared and he wanted me to tell Mum that he would be waiting for her, and he showed me the wedding ring in his hand. My mum was really angry with me, and she said to me later, I'm his wife, you're only his daughter. She was in deep grief. It's not easy being the messenger. And this situation with this little girl, whew, she has really, I don't know, she's had a massive impact. And really it's because of the way that she got my attention. That was just incredible. Liana's asking, Liana's mum passed a few months ago. And this is a great question. Thank you, Liana. It's never too late. Never. This is the other thing. They always answer. They always answer you. If you need a message from them, if you need them to help you with something, they do answer. It's just that your pain, your grief, your sorrow gets in the way. My nephew Jack, I'm going to say, he's a rat bag. And he's a rat bag, cheeky boy in heaven, just as he was in life. And he just can't wait to be able to talk to his mum. But that's not something that she is able to do yet. And I'm pretty sure if I say that would be for every parent. So please know. And if you happen to know family of this little girl who tragically passed not far from my place, so if you know where I am, you know what I'm talking about, please let them know that she is okay. My gosh, how do you find a different word? But that she's around to talk to them. And at this time, the pain is really raw because it's only days. But you know what? For a lot of the time, it's going to be years. And that pain will be no less raw. So next time someone tells you that, oh, get over it, or you'll learn to live with it, or worse still, oh yes, I know how you feel, I lost my cat. Take a really big breath, place your hand on your heart and excuse yourself, and just know they know no better. They don't wish you pain. Lord knows, anyone with a good heart knows that the pain you're in is more than you need. And they think they're helping. So that's that little girl's message. I have many experiences I could share with you with spirit, but for all parents, may your heart be lifted. Yeah, that's right, Fiona. That's exactly right. Never. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't even use that one, Melanie. I wouldn't even go there. There is nothing like it. What my wish is and my prayer is for, this is Karen wants to share with you. That my prayer for you is that the angels hold you in their grace and in their love, and that every day you may find a way to begin by feeling the presence of your child. Let yourself be brave and open your heart. It is the little girl that is bringing these tears. I mean, I feel her, and I've seen the place because she wanted me to see it. Mind you, it can't be missed. She herself is in tears because of the shock and her family. And there are so many parents that can relate to that. And Karen has a good point there, and I'm sure Fiona can relate to how long is it now? people just don't realise. But truly, truly from this little girl, please every parent know that your child is with you and they so much want you to see them. They want you to feel them. They want you to know how they are. And I know it's incomprehensible to say they're okay, but seriously, that is what they say to me. Please tell mum and dad I'm okay. And what they mean is they don't have any of the pain of this world. They don't have the suffering that they're experiencing of this world. And that's what they mean by okay. I hope that that has been in some way helpful for you today. I thank my beautiful nephew Jack, Shona, and this beautiful little girl that I won't say her name, and the other one, so many of them, for the privilege of being their messenger. So my love to every one of you, and I thank you for joining me today. And you know, there might be a parent that needs this message. If you wanted to share the stream, then feel that's right, then please do. If you want to point people to the recording, please do. Thank you, Liana. Much love to you all. Oh, Jodie Marie, I miss you, by the way. I miss you. And thank you for coming on today. Much love to you all. I will be working with this little girl for a while. Yeah. God bless everyone. And to my beautiful friend Fiona and my sister Karen, thank you for your bravery today. Thank you for jumping in. I really appreciate it. Oh, that's beautiful, Melanie. That is beautiful. That will be very helpful to them. As Karen and Fiona know, there's no, yeah, this is the time. It doesn't work like that when you're here. Everybody, hold love, hold peace, and know, please know, life is eternal. This isn't it. This is only a rodeo. And all your loved ones see you, they hear you. They hear everything, by the way. Keep that in mind as you go through your day. So much love to you all. Bye for now.